Good afternoon, students. In today's session, we will talk about qualitative research methods. Unit 3, ethnographic, which includes ethnographic studies, case study, grounded theory, mixed method research, and narrative research. So let's start by understanding the meaning of qualitative research. In our previous sessions, we had covered quantitative research methods. In this session, we will know about qualitative research. What is qualitative research? So, qualitative research constitutes a rich and nuanced approach to inquiry, which delves into the complexities of human experiences, behaviors, and social phenomena. Unlike quantitative research, which focuses on numerical data and statistical analysis, qualitative research employs methods and prioritizes depth and context. Ethnographic studies immerse researchers in the cultural context of participants, aimed to understand societal norms, beliefs, and practices through prolonged engagement and participant observation. Then there are case studies, grounded theory, mixed method, etc. Meaning of qualitative research. Qualitative research can be defined as a type of scientific research that tries to bridge the gap of incomplete information, systematically collects evidence, produce findings, and thereby seek answer to problem or questions. It is widely used in collecting and understanding specific information about the behavior, opinion, values, and other social aspects of a particular community, culture, or population. Or it can be defined as a type of scientific research that tries to bridge the gap of incomplete information or systematically collects evidence, produce findings which are valuable for our research work. So it is widely used in collecting and understanding specific information. Philosophy of qualitative research. Qualitative research method seem to have its roots in the discipline of anthropology and sociology as a method of investigation and survey in the early 20s. Although there was no universally accepted format at that time, but researchers were using it to understand about the culture, group adjustment at various places. However, later the social anthropologists like Malinowski, Mead, and the sociologists like Burgess in 1925 started more focused approaches which lead to the shaping of which led to the shaping of qualitative research. The method was being used to study about the individuals at different settings, street concerns, slums, and foreign places. The time frame of 1960s led to the emergence of theories and approaches like grounded theory and symbolic interactionist perspective. Later, several publications contributed towards the development of qualitative methods of conducting research. Subsequently, phenomenological approaches were also developed, such as phenomenological psychology by Georgi and Pulaski. Types of qualitative research. Case study. With the help of this method, a case of an individual, group, event, institution, or society is studied. Group of an individual, case of an individual, case of a group, event, institution, or society is studied. It helps in providing an in-depth knowledge of the nature, processes, or phenomena of a specific case under study. Multiple methods of data collection are used in case study research. For example, interviews, you can use interview for data collection. You can observe respondents, participants, documents, you can analyze documents, you can get questionnaires filled by respondents. So, the final report of the case study provides a rich and holistic description of the case and its context. Ethnography. This approach mainly focuses on the study of a particular community, mainly focuses on the study of a particular community. It is more of a kind of close field observation and basically tries to study a socio-cultural phenomenon. For example, judging others based on the researcher's cultural standards. Ethnography can be used for comparative analysis of cultural groups. For example, eating habits of North Indians and South Indian people is also known as ethnology. Cultural beliefs can be studied. Further, it can be used to analyze the cultural past of group of people. Harappan civilization, also known as ethnohistory, where you look back at history, their civilization. So you try to find out that part. Historical method. This method helps in understanding and analyzing the causal relationships. With the help of this technique, The data related to the occurrence of an event is collected and evaluated in order to understand the reason behind occurrence of such events. It helps in testing hypotheses concerning cause, effects, and trends of events that may help to explain present events and anticipate in future events as well. Grounded theory. This approach involves an active participation of the researcher in the activities of the group, culture, or the community under study. The data regarding the required information is collected with the help of observation made by the researcher. It is generally used in generating or developing theories. This means the grounded theorists can not only work upon generation of new theories, but they can test or elaborate previously grounded theories as well. Characteristics of qualitative research. Data leads to formation of theory. In a qualitative research, the researcher collects data by going to the participants, interacts with them, interview them at an at in-depth level. The data therefore collected is rich in information and becomes a basis for the formation of theories. Therefore, in this method of research, the design is not predetermined or predefined prior to the start of research. The finding gives way to observe the existing phenomena, bring out relevant changes in existing theories, or totally reframe a new theory. So, it can be said that qualitative research has a primacy of data. Context bound research. The qualitative research involves specific studies with reference to context, culture, or society. Therefore, the research is more context sensitive. The researchers study the events or day to day life actions on daily basis, and they need to take into account of all the happenings taking place in that particular situation. They have to exclude their personal biases and deeply involve themselves as participants of the event or situation. Thus, qualitative research is context specific. Involvement or immersion of researchers. The qualitative research leads to complete involvement of the researcher in the natural setting. They need to change actively in the activities. They need to engage actively in the activities to understand the phenomena or process. Even before the process of data collection, they need to become familiar with the culture, society, situation which they are going to study. They should not be influenced by their perceptions, biases, and thoughts and need to involve deeply into the research settings. Thus, the researcher deeply immerse themselves in the cultural settings in the qualitative methods of research. Research relationship. Researcher research relationship. The researcher in a qualitative research needs to be non judgmental and should not have any pre assumptions, since that will affect his or her work or his or her data collection. And finally, findings. So they need to collect the original responses from the participants. The relationship between the researcher and participants of the research should lead to the to gain of relevant information which is free from bias. Thus, in a qualitative research, the researcher needs to indulge completely to the research setting to gain more natural and honest response from the participants. Thick description. Immersion of the researcher in the research work. Setting will help the researcher to use thick description, meaning that since the data collected by the participants involve the responses, experiences, interpretations, phenomena, and rituals they follow. The description of events, process, phenomena, interview, and discussion with the participants should be thoroughly mentioned by the researcher. So, the thick description includes the information about facts, theoretical as well as analytical description. Thus, the qualitative research involves thick description, which includes the clear description of the culture, context, process, and steps of research, which helps in construction of reality and analysis of research. Data collection and data analysis occur simultaneously. The research scholar immerses him or herself in research settings to collect data through various ways like observation and interview. He or she keeps on analyzing and interpreting the data simultaneously. So these were the characteristics of qualitative research. In our next session, we will discuss relevance of qualitative research methods in education.